Look what I found. I'm skeptical, but there's some watermelons from Mexico that look halfway decent. Some pineapple, some sweet potatoes, cherry tomatoes, bananas, dates, yeah, and grapes, and apples, and greens, and celery, and cucumbers, and tomatillos, and jalapeno peppers, and some basil, and some thyme, and some dill, and some strawberries, and blueberries, and some carrots. Oh yeah, and I couldn't find any good avocados, so that's second best. Well, the sun came up again today, so that means it's time for breakfast. Let's see what we've got. Aunt Joyce made that. Okay, let's see. I need to go to the market, but okay. I'm gonna have some grapes, but it's not a lot, so let's see. I think I'll have some cucumbers also. And there's some cut up celery if that's not enough. And apples. Okay, here we go. These are really good, but very dirty, and the stems are blackening a little, so they're a little past when I would like to be eating them. It's better when the stems are nice and green. But we're gonna get what we can out of them. That guy can go. He's a problem. Get these rinsed. Get these ones rinsed. Oh, another one that, yeah, these might not. Oh, that guy. Ooh. There goes my B12. Yeah. Well, I don't know if I can get any off of here. Yeah. Well, why not? Okay. Well, that's how it goes sometimes, folks. I think I can pull some off of here. Okay, I'll get these washed up and get some keepers off of here. Yeah, these are really pretty. Yeah, see, it's not often that I get to get organic grapes, so, I mean, I try to, but sometimes they just don't taste good, and I taste them before I buy them, and if they don't taste good, I don't buy them. So often I'm buying things that aren't organic. But okay, get these cleaned up. So I'm going through here. Grapes should have a firmness to them. I'm going through here just seeing what I can salvage. See what I can salvage off of here. There are a lot of good ones, but I'm not usually having to do this because I took too long to get to my grapes. Usually I would have been at these way sooner, but c'est la vie. Yeah, that one's too mushy. Can do that. Yeah, some of these are just... But these are the things you gotta do. I could have just had the apples, but these grapes were just so good when I tried them at the store. And then some of these that are, overripe now and starting to go, they're just so darn delicious. And I don't mind. Yeah, so normally I would just be giving these a good go under the water and leaving them on the stem and just taking the whole bowl. I don't know, that's suspect. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, there's probably some bacteria my body needs in that little piece right there, but yeah, no, I'm not doing that. That's okay. I'm not trying to survive in the wild, so I can be a little pickier today, thankfully. Okay, so basically I'm just gonna sit here and do this till I get as many as I can off of here. It should just take a couple minutes, but something was eating that before I got to it. Okay, be back in a sec. This is all I was able to salvage. I'm getting a good rinse with some stuff too. Actually, I'm curious. Oh no. Okay. I work hard for these guys, so they're going in. Actually, I'm really curious. I think I'm gonna see how much actually, I'm really curious. I think I'm gonna weigh these. Okay, let's see. Can we see that? Okay, let's throw a bowl on there. Set it to 0. Oh, I got a pound out of it. I wasn't even thinking that. Right? That is a pound. Let me see. Help me out. Yeah, it's 1 pound and 1.3 ounces. But okay. All right. Pound of grapes. Not great, but these are my favorite kind of cucumbers, but yeah, you can see they're a little past their time also. But these ones, even though that's kind of, the skin's kind of wrinkled and dimpled, these cucumbers usually still taste pretty good to me. They mold really fast if I don't I haven't quite figured it out. Yeah, see, this is a little too soft up there. That's probably gonna be gross. Boop. Okay, well, I only have to toss one. That's good. That's good. These guys around. Upon closer inspection, they're not great, but they're not awful. We'll see when this bowl is done, but I have some bananas here. I might have to dip into those. It's cold this morning. I hope you're staying warm where you are. I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna open it up and see what we have. There's so much dirt on here. Let's give it a bath. Of course, I probably just washed away all my B12, so there's that. Oh well. Shiny. Right, let's dig in. I don't know. That's it's looking suspect. It smells good, faking me out. But I don't know. It looks very light. Not optimistic, but hey, a girl can dream. I don't know, it smells very, very unripe. Dig in and see. It's very juicy. Okay. It'll do. We'll go with it. I'm gonna swap these out since I got started already. Here we go. Breakfast. It's not perfect, but I'll take it, especially since it's not even officially watermelon time. Unfortunately, for a while, I've been indulging in processed junk food and I've gained weight back. I lost over 200 pounds. Took me about 2 years to do so, but I was doing really well for about 2 years. And then one little slip off just sent me off into just off the rails on crazy train. And but what I've discovered about fruit is, so I'm trying to transition back into a mostly plant food, raw diet, which is where I'm happiest. So I'm transitioning back, and the first thing I decided to do was every morning I'm gonna have a big bowl or plate of fruit. Whatever else happens throughout the day, that's happening. And so I've still been partaking in junk food and processed junk food, but things are so much better just adding the fruit, just adding back in the big plate of fruit for breakfast in the morning, especially when it's a hydrating fruit like this or some citrus. So that's been surprising, because before I wouldn't have allowed this kind of transition. It's all or nothing. I wouldn't have thought to do this myself, but I thought, just while I was traveling and while I'm trying to get back to things, get back to my way, I thought, just put the fruit back in for breakfast, and then whatever else happens throughout the day, because in the mornings, I really don't feel like eating anyway. So, eating fruit is easier because it's not dense, it's not thick, it's not rich. So I've been pleasantly surprised by just adding that in, and it actually helps with later. Even though I might still indulge in junky things, I definitely want less of it. I'm not wanting to gorge on it in a super gluttonous way. So I'm gonna finish this up, and I'll probably get to the other half because I'm thinking this is not going to be enough. I'm splashing on myself. I'm thinking once I get about out here, it's not gonna be as good. You know how it is when you get close to the rind, but these in particular, because this is not exactly great, but it's not awful. So I'm happy because it's not great, but it's good. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, mm. It can almost kind of be negative in a way, because eating fruit is never negative, but this whole experiment that I'm doing with this transition is just adding the fruit. But there's been this little piece in my brain that is thinking, you just discovered something where I can eat fruit in the morning, a big serving, big generous helping of fruit, and then eat whatever. And then when I do that, I feel better at night, and I feel better the next morning, and things move along like they're supposed to. So obviously I'm pushing that thought right out, but I did, I'm me. So I was, the thought had occurred to me, well, you do this fruit thing and you can eat whatever else you want, and then add in some movement. And no, I don't want to eat. I don't know why we do these things that we do. I don't want to eat the junky things that I'm eating. I don't get it. I went so long where these things weren't food. They just weren't food for me. I didn't look at them that way. I didn't crave it. And it just goes to show, especially for me and my personality, I cannot toe dip in any of that stuff. If I just put one little toe in, then I'm diving in. I'm climbing up cliffs and cannonballing into the thing. And the psychology of me has just been mystifying me. I'm trying just to stop, because it's like, just stop thinking about all this stuff and just stop doing what you say you don't want to do. Stop doing these things and stop eating these things and eat your fruit. That was eat your fruit. Jillian. Yeah, it's probably gonna be a while before I'm fully raw, because it is so cold here, and since I have, even now that I've been indulging in things, indulging in junk foods and all kinds of cooked foods, I still just really love the warmth. I really love the heat of the sun, and I have an aversion to being chilly. And now that it's cooling down, we'll see how it goes. I'm not writing that off. I'm not writing off getting back to as high rise possible, but I was just thinking, man, a big bowl of steamed potatoes and steamed carrots, and I love steamed greens, steamed kale, and steamed collards, and even steamed spinach. And squash and zucchini cooked in a skillet. That's some good stuff there, buddy. Mm-hmm. But in the past, I've kind of sat down and spent a significant amount of time coming up with this grand plan and this many days, this many weeks, and I'll print it all out and make this grand calendar, and I get started and I'm all excited, and then this is exactly how it's going to go. And then that has worked for me before, but lately getting over it's not doing me well. So that's why just whatever else happens, I'm having my breakfasts are going to be big plates of fruit, generous helpings of fruit, just stuffing myself with fruit. So this is a different approach. I mean, I know what to do. I know how to eat and what to do to feel my best and for my body to perform how I want it to perform. And just as far as emotions goes and mood and all of those things, I know exactly what to do, but getting there is going to look a little bit different probably this time. Being in perimenopause is making things, so when I first made significant changes to my diet several years ago, I was so enthusiastic. I was just so passionate, and I couldn't get enough of it. I couldn't watch enough lectures. I couldn't read enough. I couldn't dive into enough studies and hear people's personal testimonies. I just couldn't get enough of it. I couldn't satiate myself with the science of it all. This time, with the emotional things that I'm experiencing while in perimenopause, I feel the flicker of passion in there, but it's blunted, and there's this, I'm having to actually try to care about things. No, it's an effort to, whereas before, that whole inspiration and motivation versus discipline, I had all kinds of feel good motivation and inspiration, and the discipline was so easy to develop for me then because I was just so excited and passionate. And it's not that I'm not anymore. It's just, I don't really know what this is or how to describe it. This lackluster, I don't know. And, but moments come where that passion is almost there again. And I hold on to it for dear life when it comes. But it's so blunted lately in that whole I have to consciously decide to be disciplined rather than how before it was just coming very easy and I was all excited to do it. All of that sounds like crap, but this is where we are, folks. So it's that whole excitement, that passion. It's all still there, but the best word I can think of is it's blunted. And then just the melancholy, just everything. Not much is happening in my own life to cause me to be sad, but there are some challenges coming up where, we've got to figure out our financial situation. Sean taking early retirement reduces our income to 1/3 of what it was. And, we have a plan for how things are going with the last paychecks and what we had in savings. And we've got some time to figure stuff out. So that's a worry on there, but mostly we're well. But when family is struggling or family is sad or something is happening to them, boy, it can just take away my own joy somehow. And I'm not even the one experiencing it. And then I'll read something in the news, which I don't often, but still, or seeing a wounded animal, or, just the preciousness of life is weighing so heavily on me. And then, It doesn't even have to be something sad. It can be something beautiful. It's not just like a butterfly or a flower or a waterfall or the river or the mountains around here and the colors. Animals romping around our yard. I'll see something beautiful, and it's not just beautiful. It's not just, oh, that's beautiful. It destroys me. The beauty is so intense, and I just feel it so profoundly, and that will bring me to tears. I don't know. This is a wonky situation we've got going on here. And you know, I'm usually extremely fastidious with things like bookkeeping and paying bills and administrative things for the house and our vehicles. But I'm forgetting, like, money sits in our bank account. Like, that's one thing that always happens is we don't, is money is always sitting in the bank account for bills, like way far in advance, like 2 months in advance. It's sitting there, about 2 months, and it's just sitting there waiting for, you know, some things are auto pay, like they are, but some things I have to go in and pay. And so the money's just sitting there. All I got to do is go in and click it. And I've been forgetting. I mean, nothing, it's not gone so far that, you know, we're in trouble or anything like that, or even, or have any penalties or anything, but just the fact that I'm forgetting is just messing with me. And then Sean was in the hospital, and I had to pick up a prescription for him when he got out. He spent 3 days in the hospital, and when he got out, there was a prescription for him, and I went to pick it up, and you have to show your ID. And they couldn't release the medication to me because my license was expired. And I had been driving around for 3 months with my license expired. That one made me cry. Because that is just not how I operate. But here we are. This is real. Then I didn't know. Like, I didn't know, was I going to get in trouble? So I call our DMV and, you know, I'm humbly asking, so my license expired, what do I do? And it was no big deal. She was like, oh, honey, you just come in and bring your old ID and you'll do a vision test and we'll get you all set up. So I was like, okay, great. Hope I passed the vision test. Of course I did, because I eat fruit. But I will say, even with all this melancholy, even with the blended passion and motivation and inspiration, I feel like there's a reason for all of it. I think that once I'm thinking, this is what I'm telling myself, that when I'm through this hump that can last, some women say this lasts 10 years or more, this whole season of it. I hope not. I really am praying and hoping not. But if it does, it might. So this is a daily thing, waking up and understanding, okay, this is how things are right now. So each thing is going to be something that I have to manage and figure out. And I'm thinking that on the other side of all this, and even I don't have to wait that long because I'm seeing little things now. What I'm learning is to let myself be vulnerable without letting it destroy me. And just getting over the fact that I can't always just talk myself out of being sad or ruminating over things or whatever, but I have to figure out how to still do the things I need to do. Every day I'm having to figure out how to still do the things I need to do whilst feeling this way. I have to tend to myself. I have to tend to my home. I have to tend to the people in my life that I love. Sometimes I don't do that so great. But that's a thing too, is, you know, most of the time I just want to hole up here or be out in the forest or be on the river. And trying to balance that out, because it's not ideal to disappear like that, but it's also necessary somehow. If I hadn't had these times purposing myself to get back to hiking and camping and being on the water and all those things, I don't know what this would look like, because it just gets so bad. It just gets so bad. But when I'm hiking or camping or in the wild, something happens. It's a complete emotional, psychological, physical reset. And it enables me to it seems like it's enabling me to get to this point where I am moment by moment managing these feelings. And hey, anybody's welcome to join me out in the wild. This is really a lot better than I thought. A lot better than I thought it was going to be when I cut into it. It's about what I expected it to be. Looking at it, like, I knew it wasn't going to be super spot on. I don't know. I don't really know how to do these things. These like talking head things. I don't like editing either, but that's something I'm having to get friendly with. But not even really friendly. We're acquaintances because I don't do that much editing. It's really pretty outside. It's rainy and windy. And the cold looks pretty when I'm in here all snugly. Eating my watermelon. Okay, well, this one's about finished. I'm gonna go grab the other half and button this up. Oh, almost forgot to show you. So, see if the camera will pick this up. So when it gets down low, you can make a little trench. Or if you can see that. Make a trench so that I can drink the juice. Yeah, I'm gonna try this. I might just embarrass myself. And oh, it's leaking from the bottom too. I could pick it up and drink it. Okay. Wasn't very messy at all. Well, I think that's a wrap. I've done all I can do. I'm gonna drink the rest of this juice and call it done. Thankfully, watermelon juice washes out good. Thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit. I hope wherever you are, you're able to find some ripe, delicious fruit that you love.